Today, I want to talk about my father, Nicola Danka William. Um, about many years now, I've been seeing him doing something, and I don't really understand what is it, but maybe you will know the answer to it after watching this video. You see, I followed Danka William for many years now, and he's somebody I really loved because he's one of the fathers in the Lord that when I can listen to him and then feel something within me even when I'm not ready to speak tongues. And when I listen to him speaking tongues, I can start speaking tongues. And I've learned a lot of things from him. But he's doing something that I don't really understand. Maybe you know the meaning of it. A lot of people see him doing those things, but Christians don't really ask questions, and Christians don't really pay attention to symbolism. Majority of Christians don't pay attention. So when they see a pastor doing something, they don't question. They don't really think about what is this really this pastor is trying to do. Right? Danka William said he came from a background where his father is into spiritism, a high spiritism, and he became a Christian. Now, according to him, he is a Christian, so he is not following the ways of his father. Um, his father is a grandmaster of Freemasonry. After this, I'll show you one or two videos about what he said, and that is the few things about his father. But he is not working on the ways of his father. But one of the things I want to tell you is that there is a possibility majority of the spirit that work with your father will work with you. You don't believe, right? Why do you pray to the God of Jacob? Why do you pray to the God of Isaac? Why do you pray to the God of Abraham? What you are actually doing is that you are saying the spirit that work with Abraham, Jacob, Isaac, the same spirit should work with you. Yeah, so when certain spirit work with your father is not a Christian. But there is a possibility that all the spirit that work with your father are still working with you. Or that you know or you don't know, they still work with you. And that is how it is. When you study spiritism or you go into spiritual study, you really know what I'm talking about. So the thing about Christianity that most of the time we don't know is that when people see a spirit working with a pastor, they call it angels. But when they see a spirit working with another religion, they call it a demon. But what I want to tell you is that spirits don't know religion. They are not religious people. All the spirit don't care about your religion. The spirits are like the sun. The sun don't know who is a Christian, who is a Buddhist, and who is that before signing on you. That is how spirit are. The things you do will determine the kind of spirit that are working with you. And your lineage, your generation also determine the type of spirit that are working with you. So, with my understanding about spiritism, our father, Danka William, is doing something that I I don't really get it and why he's doing that. What he's doing is he's giving sword to people. He's giving sword as a gift to people. And I've been watching him many years now doing this in not only one pastor, but many pastors, even pastors from different countries. One of my favorite pastors from Nigeria is also involved, Apostle Joshua Selman. And I'm like, what is the meaning of this thing my father is doing? What is the spirit behind giving the sword to other pastors? Remember, when somebody is initiating you into something and you don't know much about what he is initiating you into, the danger of it is so troublesome. So the young pastors that are receiving sword from my father, Nicholas Danka William, I don't know their knowledge about sword in spiritism. I don't know the understanding about what they really know when somebody initiates you with a sword or somebody is giving you a sword. As Christians, they think when somebody gives you a sword, it's just something given or what I don't know how you people understand it. But somebody giving you a sword is initiating you into a spirit that is working with that sword. Now, do you know the spirit behind those swords? Do you know all the spirit that are working with the sword? You say it's Jesus, right? Okay, no problem. Is it the person who confirmed to you that the sword that I'm giving to you came from Jesus? Jesus now is producing sword. I know you said you will go and get some scripture and come and talk about it, but reading something scripture doesn't mean what is happening right now. It is the same spirit behind it. But I don't know the reason why he's giving the sword to people. I don't know the power behind it. But I want you to watch the video and tell me, what do you think is going on? Why this man is giving sword to other pastors? What is the secret behind? What is the reason behind? What is the power behind the sword before he's giving it to people? And before I end this video and show you the video, I want all the young pastors that are receiving the sword to learn much about spiritism before you allow somebody to initiate you into something. Because the things you are receiving today, if you don't know much about it, the future, when that person is dead and gone, and the trouble starts rising, that is when you know that you receive something that you don't know much about it. Because when somebody is initiating you into something, the person must have time to teach you step by step how to go about it. That is why in tradition, when somebody initiates you into something, the person has to take time and teach you step by step. This thing that I'm teaching you, this is how it goes about it. These are the laws. These are the rules and regulations. But this guy received this sword. What are the rules and regulations they have to follow before receiving the sword? What if they go home and do something against that sword and it will cause trouble to them? It can even cause trouble to their child. It can even cause trouble to their family. It can even cause trouble to their wife. I'm not saying the sword is going to cause harm, but I'm only trying to tell you what I know spiritually. The few things I know spiritually. Somebody initiating you or giving you a sword is not just a joke. So I don't know the meaning behind giving the sword to the people. If you have the answer, I want to comment below and tell me what is the main reason why our father Danka William is giving sword to other pastors, initiating them with a sword. To do what? What will be the end goal? What is the future? What is the end about giving the sword to all these people? I want you to comment and tell me what you think. Thank you.
My father was a Freemason, and he was a grand wizard for the Freemason. And my dad had a snake in the house we're living in, and he communicates with the snake. As I offer this sword to you,
pendant que je t'offre cette épée,
congratulations,
à ça.
Bishop.
Félicitations, évêque. Félicitations.
Today I stand on the grace of my father, His Eminence the Archbishop. I stand before the church of the Lord and I lift up these two swords. I deploy the sword to go with you, to go home with you. Let the sword go with you. Let the sword accompany you.
I hand you over this sword. Let it bridge the gap between my generation and your generation.
Two hands are lifted. As the sword is lifted,
Do you think that you can excel and become excellent in the dimensions of intercession without involving the Archbishop Duncan Williams? You're joking. You're joking.
By the lifting of the sword, let the sword of vengeance scatter them, scatter them, scatter them, scatter them, strike them, strike them, strike them. By the lifting up of this sword, I want to hand it over to you. Please come. Bring me the Bishop Ouattara.
Évêque Ouattara,
Receive
reçois
a weapon